Meet the Beelink EQi13 Pro, a mini PC that looks like a Mac Mini, performs like a smart desktop and costs less than $500. Can this tiny box actually replace your PC? Let's inspect. Hey you, so good to meet you, Michael here, and well, today we're diving into one of the most exciting mini PCs in the sub $500 category. It's actually currently working, but really quiet. It's the Beelink EQi13 Pro, which is powered by Intel's 13th generation Core i5 13500H. It's quite a powerful CPU. Compact box, which boldly goes up against power-hungry desktops while keeping things cool, quiet, and really capable. So is this a new sweet spot between price and performance and practicality? Well, plenty of tests and a lot of use cases to experience together. Let's start with design this time, because Beelink absolutely took a page out of Apple's playbook for this one. Technically, not with the pack itself, because you can see that the unboxing goes the usual Beelink style, but once you can take a closer look at it, you realize that maybe the EQi13 Pro looks intentionally like a Mac Mini M4 with a clean, rounded aluminum chassis and surprisingly refined build quality for its price class. Luckily, the power button is properly placed. One thing you will immediately notice when setting it up, this thing keeps the footprint truly minimal. Mostly thanks to the integrated power supply, also very Mac Mini-like, which eliminates the need for a brick on the floor. Beautiful for desk setups, especially if you're using it under a monitor or HTPC. But it is also worth mentioning that Beelink continued to not add a VESA mount option with their latest mini PC models, which I know some of you miss, yet I didn't quite need one recently. Plus, there are many good under-desk mount solutions you can 3D print or buy online. On the front, nothing flashy. Full-sized USB, a Type-C USB port, audio, and a power button. Around the back, there's HDMI connectivity, another few USB-A ports, two Ethernet RJ45 options, power input, but disappointingly, no USB Type-C or a display port. In times where many of us use Type-C monitors, this feels like a missed opportunity. Sure, you can still go with two displays via the HDMI, but the lack of a Type-C or DisplayPort option does sting a bit. Now, let's talk about what is inside. The Intel Core i5 13500H or similar i7 model, 32 gigs of RAM, NVMe storage with capacity up to 1 TB, there are good connectivity options, integrated PSU, quiet yet efficient cooling, and comes with pre-installed Windows 11 Professional Edition. 12 cores, 16 threads of the CPU inside, with the performance and the efficiency cores working together to deliver laptop-level power, even better than that, inside a tiny desktop-like box. Sure, it's not Intel's newest and flashiest, but here's where it gets really exciting. This thing squeezes the maximum out of Intel's 13th generation mobile lineup for mini PC use, consumes way less power than desktop CPUs, while being significantly stronger than the previous gen low-power chips like the 1240p. And that's the perfect balance. More juice than older mobile CPUs, while still keeping the thermals and the noise in check, which is ideal for 24/7 use, for media centers, office setups, and even light creative work. In day-to-day use, this thing is snappy. Web browsing, streaming 4K, photo editing, using it as a home multimedia server, easy. Even 1080p video editing, doable as long as you're not stacking 10 layers of timeline effects. The iGPU is not gaming grade like the RTX 4060, of course, but it's capable enough for what this category aims at. Synthetic tests confirm these statements. Furthermore, given Beelink's configuration, this is unleashing the maximum out of this i5, because cooling is much more effective in the form factor of a mini PC as opposed to a laptop, and so is the power delivery. Therefore, the results of Cinebench and 3D Mark are quite sweet, especially at this price. However, it is important to keep the expectations realistic because gaming, well, I know many of you will try it anyway. So here are some examples. F1 2024, in my case, couldn't load at all, which was kind of expected given the minimum system requirements. So if racing games are on focus, the Asphalt series are kind of a good example. Counter-Strike 2 is a different story, easily playable at 1080p with the least possible graphics options. Competitive shooters like this one run well enough to be enjoyable, even on integrated graphics. Just don't expect esports level frame rates or maximum settings. And of course, results have nothing to do with computers where a proper NVIDIA or AMD GPU is involved. Unfortunately, such one cannot be hooked externally to the EQi13 Pro. But there are some other good news. Thermals are an important topic for mini PCs, especially with chip like the 13500H inside. Under typical loads, temperatures are stable and the fan noise is there, but it's nowhere near annoying. In idle mode, or if it's doing some lightweight tasks, you will hardly notice its existence, and about this category, it is among the really balanced mini PCs in terms of noise, especially if we put the integrated PSU in consideration. Now, if you want to take a closer look at the internals, there's a rather easy access. You can pop it open carefully and upgrade the SSD or the RAM. Beelink ships it with DDR4, and for storage we have the crucial P3 NVMe, known for its superb read and write speeds given the modest budget, but note that these modules might vary from batch to batch. If you put a high-performance NVMe, you can realistically expect speeds up to 7,000 megabytes per second, but keep in mind that investing in PCI Express Generation 5 makes zero sense, and I'd really go for something mid-range because it will be a better match over here. But yeah, as long as there's no physical issue with the CPU or the sysboard, there are ways to repair or upgrade. On the connectivity side, we have dual LAN, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.5, it's all here, a solid setup for modern workflows. Furthermore, you can use the EQi13 for a firewall device at home or for building setups where teaming might be required, or take advantage of the fact that you can combine the speed of both adapters. Definitely a nice-to-have option, especially if a lot of transfers are expected. Concerning the power consumption, in idle mode it's going to be around 10 to 12 watts, under normal load 45 to 55, even under full blast it rarely crosses 70 watts. Sure, it consumes a bit more than the last generation Intel CPUs, but remember, performance is really close and the price so much better at the moment, an ideal balance for a mini PC use case. And yet, nobody's perfect. So among the downsides of the EQi13 Pro, I'd note the use of DDR4 and not DDR5, the lack of more USB Type-C connections, the absence of USB 4 or Thunderbolt, there's no DisplayPort, and the lack of VESA mounting option. But, and this is where I'm going to give you my verdict, given the specs, the thermals, especially this quite amazing temperature control and the compact design, and also the clean as a whistle Windows 11 Pro installation, I think Beelink EQi13 Pro offers superb balance between price and performance. Sure, it uses a few more watts than this CPU in laptops, it lacks USB Type-C, especially for display output, and won't break any gaming records, but it is well built, it is affordable, and as we stated, super quiet. So yeah, if you're looking for a desktop that fits in your palm of your hand and wouldn't break the bank, I think it's one of the smartest choices right now. And thanks a lot for watching this video. If you find this review helpful, hit the like, subscribe to the channel for more cool tech inspections and other smart tech recommendations, and let me know in the comments if you would pick something like this over a full desktop computer. I'm the TechMishka, see you next time, and let's inspect again. Bye!